Zatox ended up winning the tournament, so the lane advanced. Zeal 2-0, Almegas 2-0, Erira 2-1. Dustin was his loss, dropping to the losers final on a 2-1 loss. Erira 2-0 in the losers final. Dustin 3-1 in a special best of 5 where Dustin got a free win for being the winner's champion in that format. We are underway, by the way. We do have a piece of heart in Link's house. So, ladies and gentlemen, this special set is underway.
Yep. And while you were explaining all that, we did get a map check. So we see Vanilla, Green Pendant at Eastern. We got 5-6 Crystal at Desert, and Tower of Hera is a normal crystal. And full magic decanters on the Tier 1 tree pole.
Of course, they only need to pick up one of those at a time because it will refill the magic every time. So that might be a good spot to stop if they do end up in a situation where they run out of magic, though, inconveniently. We are getting to the back of Escape right now. There is a bottle of goo on the Uncle today. I didn't catch what was in the other chest.
We just saw a piece of heart on the Lumberjack ledge.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, we had a big 20 at Sanctuary.
Yep. Alrighty, we have the jokes in chat. Do we classify this as World War Z for Zelda? So Bonta's heading into the Lost Woods now. The lane is already there. He's dropping through the hole to the bottom of the Lost Woods. There is the hammer, ladies and gentlemen. Very quick hammer today.
Interesting that he decides to go ahead and nope out. Oh, right, he hasn't been to Link's house, so now he's going to go south route.
And actually, we haven't seen anything in Kakariko Village yet, so Bonta's probably going to be heading over there first. The lane is going to most likely check the Uncle locations, may check the rest of Escape. I don't know what his specific plan is for that yet, but we will see as he goes along here. And Bonta, very happy to have that hammer to knock some sense into the guards. Gets a bomb from the guard as a bomb drop. Very nice. That bottle will be useful for checking the Sick Kid later as well, as Sick Kid is now able to be done in the Kakariko play. That will clear up that check very quickly. And we are now in the back of the Lion's Hut. Bonta pushing the blocks out of the way and locates a piece of heart, some wooden sticks, a full heart container, and the power glove.
And then just $50.
The lane is doing all of Escape, it looks like. He is going to have to farm for the bombs if he wants to look for the items in the back of Escape, but he may just do that later since he doesn't have the lantern yet anyway. He may just decide that's not in logic yet and just put that off until later.
All right, Sick Kid, what do you got for us? Just a big 20. Given just his allowance back.
It's nice of him to give his allowance to the cause here. And Bonta gets another full heart container from the back of the tavern.
Bonta going ahead and picking up bombs.
So the land is heading down to the basement. Normally in the vanilla game, you would actually do this dungeon first. You pretty much have no choice. You have to do it. Otherwise, you can't get to the normal gameplay situation as everything is blocked off. As you know, Princess Zelda is not in her cell. That's because she's already at the Sanctuary. So we don't have to worry about her at all today.
And in Randomizer, unless you're playing Key Sanity, dungeon items stay in their respective dungeons. So for Castle Escape, that's a map that we just found at Zelda Cell, plus one small key for the Dark Crossroads. There was another bottle in the well.
And the back of the well.
Just got a heart
Just
container.
another heart. Ah, that was a bit of a bland well. So the lane is just going to give us a look at the race game here. Was that the lantern?
No, that was the cane of Samaria.
Oh, I thought I saw something red. I couldn't figure out what it was. Just got a very quick look.
And that B-Torp that Bonta got from the well, he turned it into the bottle vendor and got 100 rupees from it.
Ooh, very nice. Bringing a look at the library here from Bonta, then he's going to follow the lane to the race game here. I didn't catch what that was. Was that a big 20?
Yeah, that time it was a big 20.
And there is the lane's cane of Samaria. Bonta almost saved and quit. Then he saw it was a cane. I was like, I want that.
You know, we were mentioning earlier that we do have simulcasts of this on both Speed Gaming Francais and Speed Gaming Deutsch. On the Francais network, we have Apocalypse Me and Esplicious Rod. I apologize if I butchered those. And on the Deutsch channel, we have Julian Berlin and Lemmy getting you got commentary on both of those channels.
And the dual commentary will be continuing after this race as well. There will be a second race following this one today. So this is just the first of 2 races today. Game 3 and possibly Game 4 if needed tomorrow. And then if we still don't have a winner decided by that point, Game 5 will take place on Sunday. All races are at 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock Eastern Time. So 4 o'clock Sunday will be the final race if needed.
All right, so now Bonta's going to show us the back of Escape. Okay, there, small key to get to Dark Crossroads, but that's about it. Without the lamp, that's out of logic anyway.
And it's only one chest, so I don't think they're going to be too worried about it until they get to a point where they realize they might have no choice but to go in there and get that item. Bonta is the first to head down to the dam area today. The lane is checking out the rather meager well. Except for that, I guess you could say, I think that was the B, where the B was located for the 100 rupees, correct?
Yep.
Ooh, 300 rupees in the dam.
Mm-hmm. So far, at this point, we're just a Moon Pearl away from getting to Dark World access, and we haven't had anything that could potentially lead us to Aga 1.
Yeah, and once we get the Titansmith, that gives us full Dark World access as well, not just the partial Dark World access. So,
but toot, there's the flute.
I see that.
A little waterlogged, but that will get us up to Death Mountain.
I wonder if that flute still works.
It just gotta drain the water out of it.
Yeah, I guess it's like Ocarina at a time, the one that was in the, I think there was one in the moat there, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So the lane makes his way back to the Sanctuary. Bonta is walking again through Kakariko Village and is going to activate the flute that he just picked up.
Thalane is going to head to back of Escape, not find anything there.
And ladies and gentlemen, the quack is back.
So Bonta immediately goes back to the dam and now gonna continue along the south route to Mini Trolldorm Cave.
And the reason we call it mini, well, you said mini troll dorm, but mini Moldorm cave officially is because of these 4 mini Moldorms in here. With no sword, these are a bit of a pain to fight. Rather than use the hammer, they're just going to throw, Bonta's just going to throw bombs across. Didn't get the last one, just going to grab the Cane of Samari and kill it that way. And we have 5 items back here. Let's see what's back here today. We have a piece of heart. We have an arrow. We have the Moon Pearl from the Thief of all places, a sword, and another sword. The Master Sword is right here in the back of Mini Moldorm Cave.
Well, there's the hype.
Forget Hype Cave. There's your Hype Cave.
So even with that, Bonta is going to go ahead and head over to Ice Rod Cave.
It's not a bad idea. He has the flute to get over here quickly. Might as well get it out of the way. Quicker than walking across without the...
Meanwhile, thalane was sequence breaking through to the Dark Crossroads and just found cash.
But it's good to get that check out of the way because Bonta later on with the lamp may decide he has to make that play, and that will give the lane that time right back when Bonta has to do.
Did also point out we did see blue mail at Ice Rod Cave.
Yes, we did. So now that they have the Moon Pearl, if they want to, they can sequence break to not only to Hobo, but also to Waterfall Cave up in the Zora area. They don't have enough money for Zora yet, however, so they're probably going to put that off for just a little while longer. Here's our Dark World map check. I saw pendants at Palace of Darkness and Turtle Rock, and I know I saw crystals over on the west side, but I didn't catch what 5-6 crystals were.
5-6 was at Skullwoods.
Skullwoods, perfect.
Alright, so the cave, formerly known as Hype, has the mirror at least.
I guess that's some hype. Just money and pieces of heart otherwise.
So, did get a cheer of a couple bits. Ryrek gave us 101 bits cheering for Bonta. And Malacris cheering 10 bits, reminding that we have a charity going on right now of bits on Twitch.
Yeah, this is a Twitch thing, not a speed gaming thing. But it is a charity thing going on where if you put #charity, it actually gives extra money towards direct relief. So this is something they do annually, I believe, and it's a good thing to get to give your bits towards if you include that charity tag. There's our hook shot, by the way, in K45. That's an interesting location for that hook shot today.
Stumpy giving us what love he has.
And the lane is making the sequence break play on the Hobo, so we're going to see what is under the bridge today. And as he hops up on the ledge, he finds out he just has money. Takes the guy's money. So he has to carefully do a sequence break jump to get into the water out of the Hobo area. As you notice, he was pointing to the right. I've actually found out the hard way that if you push down and when to hop off instead, you actually can soft lock the game, and I have actually done that. So it is one of those sequence breaks you have to be very careful about to make sure you don't do it incorrectly, because you will have to reset in that scenario.
Digging game just giving us bombs.
The lane is topping up to Waterfall Cave. We're going to see what's up there in a moment. Having a little trouble with the rocks. And he's gonna, because he doesn't have the flippers yet, he has to go out and back in to get the actual sequence break completed. There is his blue mail, so that's both of our mail upgrades. There's the ether. We're going to get a check on the bottle in Waterfall Cave as well. And we're going to find out when the fairy emerges. Did you drop this? Yes, I did. Here. Green goo.
And I like what Bonta's doing with finding the hook shot in the mirror, going ahead and heading up to Death Mountain, because that will get us all the way through Hera. We can do all of that, and hey, we got a book on the Zora Ledge.
Did Bonta flute up Death Mountain, or did he go in the cave the normal way?
He fluted.
Okay.
So you know how I like to have poem Cyclone?
Yep.
So, most Zora lessons leave us despondent, but the ledge holds something important. Runners don't fear, progression is here, just swim down the river's current.
I'll give it a 5.
The scam artist is giving us just bombs anyway. Alright, so Bonta is going to check the hint that we have inside of Spectacle Rock.
This is actually a new feature, I think, since the term. I don't think this feature was around back in that period. These hint tiles give you some information. For example, we now know a unique item is in Ganon's tower. The usefulness of the hints, however, depends on the player, and it's just based on what they found. By the way, here's some. And the duck is loose on the lane side as well. Both players now have swag duck transportation. So as I was saying, the hint quality can vary by the player. Someone might find the information reference before getting to the hint tile. The other one might not, and might be actually getting some help out of that hint tile. So it does vary by player. I've actually had the weird case of seeing a hint tile on one side and the item collection on the other side at the same time. So sometimes things happen like that.
Palom BM in chat is bringing up a good point. With Eastern and Pod both being pendants, it's entirely possible that unique item could be the bow.
It is. I have seen that before, the bow in Ganon's tower.
Bonta, very nice lining up the Samaria block to hit both mini Trolldorms and flip the switch.
Meanwhile, the back of the cave has lots of hearts and pieces and lots of bombs.
Titan's Mitts is the chess game.
So we found both glove upgrades. And Bonta actually didn't check the bottom floor of Paradox Cave first. That's very interesting. So shield and some spices. So Magic Bat now comes into play, or Batman as some people also call him. And that's one item there, but it's a little bit out of the way. I see them possibly doing that later when they get Jeremiah, but the lane has the ability to get Jeremiah, so it might be possible to do that entire realm of play right now, especially because they also have the mirror. They can do that whole route right now.
Well, so much for my thought of the bow being in Ganon's tower, because it's in Thieves Town.
Oh well.
Lamp, meanwhile, is on the floating island.
That is an interesting spot for the lamp. I think they can access that now, can't they?
Yeah, once you get the Titan's Mitts.
Yeah. And there is the lane's small key for Thieves Town. There is only one small key in Thieves Town that is in a chest location. The other ones are planted under pots. They have to be picked up to get out of those rooms. That key basically means that the hammer chest in the basement of Thieves Town is now open, the one that you have to pound the pegs with the hammer.
Speaking of which, we found a cane to a man named Brian in the basement of Hera, and we see from a hint that Cash is inside of Pyramid Fairy, so we don't need to worry about that when we finish off Desert and Skullwoods for the 5-6 crystals.
I kind of love how that's worded in the hint, too. Some cash and some cash. So, lots of cash.
And Thalane in Thieves Town getting the hint that that we just have cash in the coffee break room. which Bonta is eventually going to figure out when he gets the second item off of Trolldorm.
And we just found that there's a unique item in the Dark Village, I believe it said. I'm not sure if we've actually seen the items in there yet, but if not, we have one of those to look for.
If that's referring to Village of Outcasts, I assume that would mean the bow in the chess game. Cape in the attic of Thieves Town.
I thought you said bow is in Thieves Town.
No, Titan's Mitts in the chess game.
Oh, Titan's Mitt? Okay.
I might have misspoke. Ooh, Bonta getting bodied by Trolldorm there. Gotta be careful. But gets it done.
And the lane, meanwhile, did stop in the room upstairs and blow open the hole in the floor. I call that room the Sunshine Room because the sun's coming in very brightly in that room, and that's what opens up Blind, the boss. Bonta gets his first crystal from Tower O'Hara. The lane is making his way to the Maiden right now.
So a couple of things I realized. One, Cracky P reminding me the mitts are not a unique... okay, apparently there's a discussion about whether the item is unique. Bonta reminding me that the second item was the cache in the coffee break room, but without having the hint, Bonta's still deciding to nope out and head over to Spiral Cave.
He doesn't know that's the right play, but he'll be relieved to get that hint later himself to confirm they made the right decision. Just a compass in the hammer chest. It looks like the lane picked up the cape somewhere. That must have been here in Thieves Town, because I didn't see that before. That does open up, by the way, Bumper Cave, which is to the north, or I should say northeast of Village of Outcasts. Thank you, Blind, for the hint on Misery Mire. We appreciate that.
Bonta is making his way over to the Village of Outcasts, so we assume he'll get the hint that he won't need to go to the coffee break room. And that's first crystal for thalane after a nice blind fight.
Bonta, in fact, is going to look for what the unique item might be, because he did get the unique item hint, so I'm sure he wants to pick up whatever it is that's down here. And he's probably going to check Thieves Town and get his bow while he's at it. So I can see Bonta making that stop next. So the lane is in the C-shaped house. That's not your unique item.
Nope.
So Bonta, meanwhile, did pick up his Titan's Mitts from the chess game. Is opening up Thieves Town. Probably won't go inside. Nope, he is going inside. He'll put off the rest of the checks. The lane gets $50 from, I think that's the brewery.
Yep. Thalane did exactly the same thing as Bonta did. And now he's gonna take care of Digging Game first. Because Thalane hasn't been to Hype Cave to get the mirror just yet.
You know, I want to see if we can figure out where the cape was located in Thieves Town, because I think it was somewhere in Thieves Town. I just didn't see it being picked up.
So at this point, in terms of go mode, go mode. We need at least the Fire Rod for Skullwoods. We need the Flippers for Swamp. Technically ice, but we can sequence break through that. May need boots. Technically need lamp, but both of these runners are pretty good without the lamp, unless that's the fire source they need. Plus medallions for Mire. We know Fire and Ice Rod can't be at the pedestal because of Turtle Rock. If the same medallion for both of them is the same, can't be there. That's about it. So maybe a Mire medallion, and flippers or boots are what you're looking at in terms of pedestal hype.
And that's still a few options. That's still a few things we need. So, still lots of room for the seed, and still lots of time, too, for the seed to get really nasty if it wants to. So Bonta gets the hint about Tower Hera Basement. Very happy he didn't stop in there now. Mind you, he couldn't anyway because he didn't have a fire source, but he's happy to know he doesn't have to go back.
Thalane about to pick up the mirror. We'll see if he continues the Froggy World Tour over to the pyramid side and maybe take a visit to Catfish.
So the Ling has his mirror, his piece of heart, and $60. That's where the cape was, the Sunshine Room. I think the lane is going to head over to the pyramid area right now. So after he does the pyramid, he may go up to Catfish, which I think you prophesized. And he might be the first player. No, he doesn't have the mirror yet, I don't think. So he can't check Zora from there. But he can at least get Catfish. Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not marked, so I was going by the tracker. If he has it, then he'll be able to check Zora at the same time.
Well, the thing is, he's already been there. But
right.
Thalane was the one that sequence broke up there.
That's right.
So
it looks like the Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Taking a look at the items that they have, I do have to me, what I'm seeing right now that probably is the most logical play would be a double dip into the Desert Mire area, because you have the flute, the Titan's Mitts, and the mirror to get over there. You just need a fire source. So part of me would want to probably go back up to... For Bonta, who knows the lamp is there, Thalane most likely will probably head up to Death Mountain after this. But I would probably head back to Death Mountain, get my fire source, and then probably make my way over to the Desert Mire area. That kind of feels like the most logical option at this point.
At the same time, they only have one medallion so far, and I can see them wanting to put off the Mire area, unless this is a really, really gross layout, which it very well could be. I almost want to say that, let me just take a quick look at the map here. They can't... Actually, hold on a second. If the Turtle Rock medallion is Ether, they can't do all of it, but could they get through Turtle Rock?
It depends on if we're locked by the fire route or not.
Yeah.
While we were discussing that, we missed out that Catfish has the boots.
Oh my. I guess I can see why he would give those up. I mean, it's hard for him to wear.
True. Emery in chat was saying that they're thinking Pod and Eastern since they picked up the bow. I mean, the only thing there is both of those are pendant dungeons, and this is still just defeat Ganon. We only need to get the 7 crystals, so there's a lot of items there, but you are running the risk that you're going into 2 pendant dungeons.
With Palace of Darkness, I would say that it is a good play to at least get that out of the way, because that's a lot of items in there. There's 6 keys, obviously the 3 dungeon items, and 5 regular items that you can pick up. So that's 5 locations. If you're going to talk about item density, yes, you are gambling. You're gambling by going into Desert Palace without a fire source. Same with going up to the Skull Woods area. Granted, you can do the pedestal check while you're up there once you have the book. So from an item density perspective, I would still say Palace of Darkness wins out in that aspect, and that way if there's something needed there, that's a gain for whoever gets to that first. Of course, the downside of that is if there is nothing important there, you're wasting a lot of time there. You don't need to be there. And Bonta picks up a 10 bomb pack from the Magic Bat, who curses your ability to explode things, I guess. I'm not sure how I would say that. That 10 bomb pack, by the way, is the only bomb pack of that type. It's not considered a unique item, but it is the only bomb pack of that type. And the reason for that is because in randomized mode where you play in standard mode, not in open mode, the uncle would have to have some kind of a weapon to let you get through escape as the lane picks up his book. That 10 bomb pack is one of the items that you can get from the uncle.
That was very adept of thalane to use a water walk to go get that book while he was in the area.
It should be noted, though, that is a sequence break, so the book is out of sequence. Of course, we already have the mirror and the flute, so technically it's not even part of the sequence now anyway, unless the pedestal is involved, or the tablets. So Bonta has taken the purple chest for a tour. He did take the door of home, and heads to the light world with the chest, and is fluting over to the desert, it looks like.
Meanwhile, thalane is finishing up Flanctuary, just gets 10 arrows in the Bonk Rocks.
So what is Gary going to have for us out of his lunchbox? Just a upgrade shield.
So thalane heads up to Death Mountain, which makes sense. Bonta goes back to Kakariko, gets used as a portal to go to the Dark World, and heads north, maybe for Skullwoods.
Yeah, be checking Skullwoods, because those are accessible very early once you get to the Dark World. Or not. He's maybe heading to Bumper Cave.
Yep, that looks like it.
Will this pay off? It does not.
Still gonna keep going and head over to Graveyard Ledge.
The lane is going to get his hint in the back of or inside Spectral Rock, at the back of the inside Spectral Rock. It was the unique hint, the unique item in Ganon's Tower hint, I believe.
And we got Bombos and Graveyard Ledge.
Ooh, that's 2 medallions we found. Just viewing, we had Bombos and Graveyard Ledge, and I think Ether was in Pyramid. Not in Pyramid, in Waterfall.
Yep. Oh, that also adds to what we were talking about earlier about the Desert Mire double dip. The thing is that Ether Medallion would have been out of logic.
Correct. And the lane has not picked up the hook shot yet, it should be pointed out as well. He never checked into K45. It looks like he might have just not gone that way when he was doing the checks. I think he did have the dwarf earlier, if I'm not mistaken. And he didn't ever get to K45 to get that hook shot. So that's going to be a bit of a hassle for him later, having to go back there. So meanwhile, we're in Super Bentley Cave on Bonta's side. This is new information for us. $5 and $100. So $105. So question in chat, what's the format for the France and Germany champs? We're doing a normal open randomized sword seed. So Uncle does not have a sword, but the swords are in the game. That's what that means. And obviously we have the hint tiles on because that's a new feature that was added since the initial tournaments were run. So this is part of the thing as well. Just start part of the standard randomizer at this point.
All right, we did find Vanilla Quake on Turtle Rock, so to the discussion of where we go next, we can't get into Turtle Rock. Bonta is on his way to pick up that lamp.
Perhaps Bonta's not as confident with some of the dark rooms like Misery Mire and the Turtle Rock ones, so not a bad play. So the lane picks up his second crystal, and they're both tied on 2 crystals now. Bonta gets his lamp and flutes out of there. Goes to the Mire area, so he's going to see if Bombos is enough to get in Misery Mire. We're going to find out momentarily.
All right. Mire's Quake also.
Ooh. So the 2 medallions that we've already found, they're not that useful to us today, except maybe for Bombos in Ice Palace later. That might be needed there. And we have some bombs and some arrows in the Mire Shed. That kind of makes sense for the Mire Shed, because it is a shed.
True. So because of both Mire and Turtle Rock needing Quake, we can rule out Quake being on the pedestal.
Correct.
So Bonta is going to go ahead and go into Desert.
The lane gets his 105 rupees from Super Bunny Cave. Meanwhile, Bonta heading north towards the torch, and we're going to... He doesn't have the boots yet, but he's going to find out. Oh, they are required. He has to find the boots. Meanwhile, aim at the Eye of Goma, says the hint tile. That is a green hint. That means that it is a joke, a trolley placed hint, so to speak. That's not a useful hint. We can ignore any of those types of hints.
So we do at least have the small key in the back chest, so we can at least go right side.
We're being reminded that boots were at Catfish, so Bonta will have to go to Catfish in order to get those boots before he can actually finish Desert Palace today.
And Silver Arrows at Desert, and that's going to be it. And chat was saying earlier that the Pod Eastern combo seems like the play. Well, that's pretty much all we got left. I mean, you can check Checkerboard Cave, which Bonta is doing.
Gets his bag of spices.
Tempered Sword and Checkerboard Cave.
Now, logically, that is all you need for Ganon, the Tempered Sword and the Silver Arrows. So, at this point, Bonta has everything logically required to beat Ganon. All he has to do at this point is unlock Ganon. Of course, we can do the fight with just Master Sword and no Silver Arrows. It just takes a lot longer. Interesting that both runners seem to have checked the top of Paradox Cave before checking the bottom of Paradox Cave. I usually see that the other way around.
If I recall correctly earlier, I think it was because Bonta was out of bombs, and so was checking the top, hoping to get bombs before, in the hope that he would get them.
Bonta heading to the Palace of Darkness area now, it looks like. The lane without Hookshot can't check all the chests in Hookshot Cave, but he is going to go and grab his lamp as well. Because why not? There's lots of time left in the seed. It may save time in the long run, not having to guess at the dark room.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's also your only fire source.
Correct. That too. So the lane will be happy to pick that up by the time he heads over to Desert, because Bonta was not able to get the big key. The lane does have the boots to get the big key, and will be able to finish Desert Palace.
I'm also having that sequence broken book. I was about to say goes and checks Ether Tablet, but instead just runs south and it's going to go check Spike Cave.
This is a very early Spike Cave check, 40 minutes into the race, and only 2 dungeons in, so good to get this out of the way while you can. He has all the hearts, any way to do it. Bonta, meanwhile, is being trailed by everyone's favorite contortionist, Kiki the Monkey, who's going to steal $10 from you and then demand you give him $100 to open the door, which we do because we don't really have a choice. Just bombs in Spike Cave today. So this is a pendant dungeon that Bonta is going into. This is, again, a gamble like a lot of things in Randomizer. There are 5 items in here that can be picked up. It's very likely that there's a unique item in here, but again, it's not guaranteed. So we're going to see through Bonta's going through this dungeon if he can complete it, whether it was the right play. There's a key in the first chest, which is very common. There's always a few keys in the first few chests.
Alright, so we're going to see thalane make the Desert Mire play. And as we stated earlier, we'll be able to finish Desert Voice here. At this point, thalane is missing the hook shot, which we know is at the South Grove Cave. Bonta is missing the boots, which were at excuse
Catfish.
me. Catfish, and Ether is at Waterfall of Wishing, but at this point we know we don't need Ether.
Bonta had to drop a second bomb to go for the hole in the drop there. Going to use a key to open up the stairway. And gets a map. Going to drop down, probably find another key down in the other chest. Thalane picks up his tempered sword. And it's correct that both runners are missing Quake here. Now, someone is commenting in chat that Waterfall of Wishing was Quake. It actually was Ether at the Waterfall of Wishing. We saw that on the lane side when he sequence broke that cave earlier.
Yeah, we still have not found the Quake medallion yet.
I don't think either of us made notice of the hint in Palace of Darkness. It was a hint for the Moon Pearl. So, thanks, game.
It was so useless, and you were providing a good explanation that I even forgot about it after you were done.
It happens.
Alright, second item in Desert was a big 20. So Bonta will still have to come back for the boots for the big key to get to Lamulus, but will not need to check the big chest if he goes there in go mode. There's Quake in Pod.
Yep, we found the last medallion. All the medallions have been accounted for. There's another bottle as well, bottle number 3. So we know now that Bonta made the right play going to Palace of Darkness, because that's where Quake is, and we need Quake to get one of our crystals today. So that is a required dip today to Palace of Darkness.
So that would open up Mire. That would also open up Turtle Rock, but unless there's two small keys in both the Compass chest and the Chain Chomp chest, you're not going very far in Turtle Rock.
I don't think he's worried about Turtle Rock yet, but the good question later will be where those flippers wind up, because those could still be up. There's our gold butter sword, by the way, in the big chest of Palace of Darkness. So the question will be where those flippers end up. If they end up in Turtle Rock, which they could end up in Turtle Rock, then that's possible 2 dungeons that we would need to dip into today. We haven't even seen Eastern Palace yet.
Bonta is heading back. Imagine this has to be for Mire. 3 strikes, the Lambos are out of the old ball game. And crystal number 3 for thalane.
And Bonta, with Quake Medallion in tow, is going to go and open the dungeon. And the eyed entrance rises from the depths, and in Bonta goes into this very miserable place, which is why it's called Misery Mire. Thalane checking Nagina. I don't know if we've seen this yet, so this may be new information. And
Bonta did check it.
Oh, he did? Okay, piece of heart.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No worries. So I'm focusing on Bonta right now because that's where our new information is going to be here. He's making his way up to the bridge that actually ends. And at the end of the bridge that actually ends is a chest. Inside that chest, we have the Fire Rod.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting. That will open up Skull Woods completely now. And if they did not already have the lamp, that would open up the Desert Palace to be concludable as well. But obviously, because they both already have the lamp, that won't be a concern.
That also means that we are just flippers away from go mode. Which I think in some ways, if you do not want to see that ice rod at all.
Well, it's not really go mode yet until both runners have the item. It's more no mode for us because both runners are missing something right now.
True. Bonta still has to go to Catfish for the boots. Thalane still has to go to South Grove Cave for the hook shot.
Correct. There's a key for Bonta. It's being noted as well that Bonta doesn't have the book, but I don't think the book actually serves any current purpose. I don't think there was anything important at the Ether Medallion, if I remember correctly. I don't know if we've seen Bombos or not.
Bombos was on Graveyard Ledge.
No, Bombos, the tablet, I mean, sorry.
Oh yeah, we have not seen that tablet yet. Alright, so we got another joke hint in Mire.
And it's actually a very accurate hint. Everyone is looking for something.
This is true. So far we've only seen the Fire Rod as the first item in Mire. Bonta is going to go ahead and make his way to Vitreous. And then I imagine would dip back in if Vitreous doesn't have the second item.
Yeah, I was probably trying to save the trip to that side, hoping that both remaining dungeon items, keys, or whatever, are on that side, because he doesn't need any of those small keys to get to Vitreous, and he has to defeat Vitreous anyway. Might as well get it out of the way first.
So as a reminder, again, this is a show match between Bonta, the winner of the French Zelda Randomizer tournament, and Thalane, the winner of the German Zelda Randomizer tournament. And for your viewing pleasure, we have this English restream on Speed Gaming 2, but we also have, for your pleasure, restreams both on Speed Gaming Francais. Apocalypse Me and Esplicious Rod are commentating on the French restream. And on Speed Gaming Deutsch, we have Julian Berlin and Lemmy on for the German restream. So if you are so inclined, please be sure to go check those out.
Yep, they're doing just as good work as we are here, trying to bring this to you in as many different ways as we can for your viewing pleasure today. And definitely follow all these people as well. They're definitely putting in their time for your entertainment today. So commentators, runners, trackers, all the lot here.
And while we were discussing all that, Bonta finishes off Vitreous for the crystal. I didn't see if he had a key or item. It was the second item. It was a big 20.
So that does rule out the other side of Misery and Mire. That means that those two keys or compasses or whatever is on that side, they're not going to be picked up today. And in he goes to finish Desert Palace, which, well, actually, no, not finished. He's fluting away.
Yeah, I would have to... Well, he's going to 4. I think he got off at the wrong stop. I think he was going to 3 to go to Skullwoods.
I'm trying to figure out why he's not finishing Desert Palace. Desert Palace is a 5-6 crystal, I think, if I'm reading that correctly.
Still doesn't have the boots.
Oh, yeah, he does have the boots. That's right. It's the lane who was able to do it. That's right.
Jay Coper asking, does Skullwood still have an item? Neither runner has been in there yet.
Correct.
So
this is our first look.
Thalane gets his stick of butter.
Butter.
And continues on into Eastern, which we did not see from Bonta. So new information from both of them.
Yep, this is going to be new information, so we're going to try and keep track of all this for you here. So he's going to make his way around in a clockwise fashion. The lane is to the first chest. Bonta is, I didn't catch what he just picked up there, but the lane is going to that chest right now and picking up some bombs. And there's a map for Bonta.
Both of these dungeons are full clearable for the respective runners. We have 3 items in Eastern. The first one were those bombs. We haven't seen the 2 items yet in Skullwoods.
There's the big key. So the big chest is going to be obtainable by the lane on the way by. And I'm being corrected that I apparently can't figure out clockwise and counterclockwise. Oops.
That's fine.
So Bonta opening up the back of Skull Woods right now. The lane heading towards the big chest in Eastern.
The lamp is in plain sight. Thanks, game.
Such quality hits.
Second item is a piece of heart in Eastern.
Now, to be fair for that hint, it's possible that some players might have gone to Eastern Palace first. That would have been a useful hint because they wouldn't have known where the lamp was at that point. Of course, the lamp is needed for the dungeon, so it can be a little bit evil as well.
Alright, Bonta is heading into Mafula.
And having the Mothiel's hanging around those spikes today, didn't want to get off of them. I can't blame him because it provides some kind of immunity to him. But Bonta does get the moth down and gets the half magic off of him, so that's a good item to pick up. That will make the climb up Ganon's tower a lot easier because he's not going to be trying to conserve his magic to light those torches in both the chambers and have to go looking for the full magic on the way up. It'll make magic usage a lot easier throughout the entire game, actually. We're going to get our pedestal check, ladies and gentlemen, I think.
No.
So, oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. He's fluting away. Darn, he doesn't have the book. He can't check the pedestal.
So, Bonta... I guess this has to be for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, he's done Tower of Hera. Maybe he is going to Turtle Rock. Getting assailed by Cabbage. And the lane is getting his silver arrows out, is going to put one into each of the Armos Knights, missing a couple shots. This is another shot, and there's the final hit, and there's the compass. This begs the question of why he went ahead and finished this. Either he wasn't counting his items, or he's gambling that the pedestal could be necessary later. So he wants to keep this option open in the event, so he doesn't have to come walking through Eastern Palace again later.
It also is that it was the green pendant, and
Or
there's no
that.
other reason. There's no other reason you're gonna come back here.
Yeah. That would help as well. That's a free item from Sahasrara.
All right. And the old man just giving sticks.
And Bonta, indeed, as you prophesized, is going into Turtle Rock, so it is opening that up. And we're going to at least see the hint, and yeah, he has the Fire Rod. He can full clear Turtle Rock, except for the Ice Rod on Trinet.
Thalane, meanwhile, heading to Mire. Bottles in the well. Woo! Woo!
Thanks, game. So Turtle Rock, chest number 1 is
Small key.
a key. Now we know that one of the first 3 chests has to have a small key, because otherwise you can't get to the rest of Turtle Rock. So that's our required small key. We may see an item in the next chest, or we may find another small key. I've even seen the big key up there before.
Yeah, it's not going to matter now that Thalane is about to get his Fire Rod, but as I was saying earlier, if either there wasn't the key in the compass chest, and if there wasn't a second key in the chain chomp room, you couldn't go any further in Turtle Rock. But with both of them having the Fire Rod now, that's not going to be a problem. As I'm saying that, Bonta, of course, had a miss shot with the Fire Rod, so going to have to spin again on the torches, but now gets it done.
And he's going to have to do it again because he's missing... That other torch didn't go out in time for him to start the round. He's going to have to do it again, most likely. Let's see if he actually gets to the door in time.
There we go. He got it.
He made it, okay. But there wasn't that much time left on it.
And there's a riot shield and the big key. So we could... So the second small key is going to be on the chain chomp chest. But without the big key, we weren't going much further other than the vanilla big key chest without the Fire Rod.
Thalane is going to open up the cutscene chest now. And Bonta gets his small key, which we knew was there. Heads downstairs. And is going to go through all these tubes to get to the, what we like to call the lava island chest. The lava island chest. And we'll see what's in there momentarily as Thalane is still waiting for the cutscene. And cutscene finished. And drops in the hole.
And gets the big key. How vanilla of the game.
Yeah. Fred. Wrong game. That Pokey tried to get away from Bonta for a while there, so he had to chase it down and go grab the key.
All right,
And it's for another key.
Burn a key to get a key.
This is one of those cases where I think he might have been able to just skip that chest, because in this case, if he had not gone in there and used the key later on, he would have theoretically been soft locked, and this is the case where a key would hide a key. He might have been able to just skip that chest and not even check it.
Yeah, I'm not as proficient with the Turtle Rock logic to know if the way that was set up, if the fourth key was guaranteed to be either in the big chest or the back room. But either way, we're gonna see Mimic Cave first.
Yeah, either way, the small key was in there, and key can lock itself, so it was skippable in this case. We know that now. We are going to get to Mimic Cave, as you noted. Bonta is dealing with they're actually called gorillas, but we like to call them mimics as they mimic your movement. And there's the flippers. So I said if they were in Turtle Rock, that's close enough.
That is about as close as you can get. So Pedestal is dead. That is no mode. Bonta just has to go to Catfish to get the boots, and thalane does need to go to Turtle Rock, and then also needs to get to South Grove Cave to get the hook shot.
Yeah, both runners are still missing the item. Bonta needs those boots that you mentioned to go into. Oh, and also for the ice rod. Actually, we have the ice rod. We don't need it, though, I don't. We don't need to beat Trinex. So, yeah, he needs the boots to go into complete go mode. The lane obviously still missing that hook shot, as you mentioned. Bonta is going to go as far as he can here with the chest. There are this chest and laser bridge. And if he finds the ice rod in this area, that's just going to sink some time, and he doesn't really need to sink into here if the ice rod is on laser bridge, because then he'll think he has to defeat Trinex to move on.
Yeah, but again, he doesn't know where the boots are.
Of course.
We do. So I would imagine he's still going because he's trying to find the boots.
Exactly. He knows he needs the boots to finish Desert Palace because he's already found the big key on the torch. So he's going to be opening chests until he gets to Catfish. He needs to get to Catfish soon to open those, to get those boots and finish that off. Meanwhile, the lane is pretty much as far away from the hookshot as you can be over in K45. Until he gets over to K45 and checks that, he will be far from being in go mode himself. Now, I wonder if Bonta was counting items because he seems to be leaving at this point.
Yep, I think he is. And not a surprise, Bonta is heading for Swamp. He unfortunately will not find the boots there.
He's going to have to full clear it to make sure he doesn't miss anything because he's still looking for those boots. If he had been to Catfish first, this would be a very, very quick swamp. The difference between go mode swamp and not go mode swamp is a lot of time. And if the lane gets the hook shot, which he has to before he can really finish swamp anyway, then that will save him a lot of time going through there if he's in go mode by then. Of course, we know the lane also needs the flippers, and he has to go Turtle Rock for those too. So let's hope he finds a hook shot before he goes up to Turtle Rock. He does meanwhile take down the moth and get his 5th crystal. So he just has Swamp Palace and Ice Palace in terms of crystals. He could theoretically do all of Ice Palace right now. He might go to Ice Palace, in fact, and do that. But he's going to give us our pedestal check. So, ladies and gentlemen, we know it's nothing important, but get your pedestal hype in chat, as we're going to probably find some couch cash. Or something that gives you 10 shots. So we know that means that there were some arrows on the pedestal. But there, we know it's on the pedestal, so we can sleep easy.
It's not like the credits would have told us what was on the pedestal anyway.
So it almost feels like a broke record, but just noting again, Bonta still needs to get the boots from the Catfish, and the lane still needs to get the hook shot from K45. However, he might be heading in... Let's see where he decides to go here, because he could be heading in the direction of the hook shot right now. We just have to see where he decides to go. Oh, he is going to the Dark Sanctuary, the Dark Chapel area instead, so he's not going to the hook shot yet. Looks like he's checking the Graveyard Ledge location. There's the Bombos Medallion, so this might accelerate his trip over to Ice Palace, which means it would be a full clear Ice Palace. He wouldn't be... He's probably going to avoid Turtle Rock until it's the last option. I actually can see the lane doing that, not going to Turtle Rock at all.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things that I was pondering prior to heading into Turtle Rock, because, you know, with the fact at the time that we were just waiting on the flippers, we knew it couldn't be an Ice Palace, but both runners are still missing one more item. So would you go into Ice Palace searching for that other item, still knowing the flippers aren't there because you can't fake flipper? But, you know, at this point, in some ways, you may still think to go in there because it is still a required crystal dungeon.
And because the lane is also missing the hook shot, having not picked up in K45, that means that he wouldn't be able, like, you could fake flipper, you can go into Ice Palace, because at that point, you know the flippers are the only thing you're missing. You know you're not going to find the flippers inside Ice Palace. So you could just fake flipper, go to Ice Palace, go mode it, and get out of there. And move on and do something else. That would be a way that you can do it.
However, thalane is doing what is gonna get him the hook shot, because he's doing the Smith chain, the rest of the Smith chain right now.
Yep.
And he would, I would say, a runner of his caliber, if you're gonna route the Smith chain in, you're doing South Grove. You're not skipping that. Pretty
much, I agree with you on that. So I have a feeling that he will know the flippers are not inside. Obviously, he's gonna know the flippers are not inside Ice Palace. He knows they're not inside Swamp Palace. This will pretty much lead him, I think, to I'm not sure if he, I'm trying to remember what was in Palace of Darkness. I think it was what was in Palace of Darkness? I'm trying to remember. Quake. Okay, so yeah, he was in Palace of Darkness. He's gonna have to go to Turtle Rock. That's the only logical option for him to go to look for the flippers. So he's gonna do that after doing the Smith chain, getting the hook shot, I believe.
Okay, so thalane still has to go to Mimic Cave to get the flippers, but is getting his hook shot right now.
Possible minor facepalm here.
I mean, honestly, at this point, that hasn't really... The hook shot hasn't really hurt him all that much, because there wasn't anything in Swamp Palace, and none of the dungeons we've done up to this point need the hook shot for any reason.
So he's going to visit Gary with a chest. We know there's nothing inside this chest that he could want, but he will open it anyway. It is just the shield, which we knew already.
Bonta is making the play for Ice Palace.
At this point, it makes sense. By the way, there's a shield in the chest requiring a special to unlock. Thanks, game!
Now, the one thing we keep talking about these bad hints, but if I recall correctly, in non-key sanity, isn't one of the hints stating where the boots are going to be?
I don't know if it's the boots, but it will state where the Ganon's Tower big key is located. So I've actually seen that hint before where it says, the GT big key is in Ganon's Tower. Well, thank you. We know we can play our big key guessing game later at that point. Like,
yeah, but
we knew it was in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, but that's for key sanity. What I'm saying is for not key sanity, I thought it was the boots hint is the one that's always in there.
According to chat, boost is promised to hint. I didn't know that. So that's news to me. And I know there are a couple hint tiles we never get to, so it may be that we just don't see it as well.
Well, and the whole reason why I'm bringing this up is that there are 3 hint tiles in Ice Palace.
Oh,
Bonta's about to check
yes.
the second one, which is a joke hint.
Grumble, grumble. The hint tile was hungry.
So Thalane is heading to Hookshot Cave. Gonna get those 3 items. And then we'll see if he decides to dip into TR from here.
He pretty much has to, I think. I think, though, as soon as he gets those flippers, that would put him in go mode.
It will. And at that point, he just has to do go mode swamp, go mode ice, and then head over to the Ganon's tower. And yep, he's going in.
Yeah, for not having the hook shot for that period of time where he could have had it, and losing some time checking some chests that we would have had to check anyway because he had to come get flippers anyway. He's not doing too bad. Bonta not having catfish done right now, that's costing him a lot of time searching unnecessary chests. That is what could lead to him possibly losing this first race. So we'll see what happens here as the lane is making his way across the King of Samaria path right now. Bonta goes down after pushing the block, and probably going to go open all the chests that he can find here. Or just going to go south and go straight down to Cold Stare, I guess.
Meanwhile, Bonta drops into Cold Stare, drains the magic meter, puts Cold Stare in a corner, and with Butter Sword, just a couple slashes, and Cold Stare's done.
Very good fight by Bonta on Cold Stare. That's how you want to do the Cold Stare fight right there. So that is 6 crystals for Bonta. He just needs to get that those boots, and he can go finish Desert Palace. As soon as he gets the boots, he's complete go. He's off to Desert Palace. He's off to get the Landmolas killed and off to Ganon's Tower himself. He just has to find them first.
It all comes down to going to Catfish. He's doing the Zora checks right now.
Will he route in Catfish at the same time, though?
He right now he can't because he's doing it from the Light World side. Essentially, if he wanted to do it, which, thinking about it, he doesn't really have much left. He may end up being forced back to the pod area.
That's what I'm thinking.
He never went into Eastern, so it's possible he might do Pyramid Ledge and Catfish before doing Eastern.
I'm thinking of warping to Portal and then going through the Dark World to Catfish. And Palace of Darkness seems to be the most convenient spot to do that. Because I can't think of any portal closer that's convenient. Possibly Village of Outcasts, but still a long walk to get over there. So he is doing the Zora checks without doing Catfish. This could be game-changing right here. This could be the game right here.
Yeah, Bonta still is in this race because he's got 6 crystals done. Thalane still has to go mode Swamp and Ice, so he's got 2 to go. It's just a matter of when does Bonta go to Catfish.
If he gets it soon, he's in full charge. If he takes a while to get there, that's time the lane is using to catch up, and he could take over the lead.
Oh, and Thalane missed Mimic. I think he just realized he missed Mimic Cave.
Yeah, he's going out. Oh, that's a good thing to catch. Missing that would have been horrible for him. Bonta does not dignify those bombs from Zora with picking them up. He just leaves them there.
Meanwhile, 1 hour, 14 minutes, 42 seconds. Thalane is in go mode.
And Bonta is in book mode. Reading mode.
Yay, reading.
According to someone in chat, that was not a misplay. It was intended. Maybe that's the case. Big chest is quicker to check, so maybe it was intended. So what is Bonta going to do now? He is over on Death Mountain. He is going into the portal.
Ether tablet.
Yeah, it has to be Ether tablet.
And I don't think Bonta's done Spike Cave either.
Which means he may go... No, he actually wouldn't be able to. He'd have to go back, hop back down. Yeah, he may do Spike Cave next. And then when will he go do Catfish?
So while we have a moment, as a reminder that this is a race between the winners of the French and German ALTTPR tournaments respectively. Bonta won the French tournament and thalane won the German tournament. And for both of those, we have 3 streams going on right now. Cyclone and I are doing the English restream here on Speed Gaming 2. Apocalypse Me and Esplicious Rod are on Speed Gaming Francais with the French restream. And Speed Gaming Deutsch, we have Julian Berlin and Lemmy given the German restream. So if you feel so inclined, please be sure to head over to those other channels for our other restreams.
And I just want to throw in a quick thank you to Tal Nico, who is doing the tracking for us this today as well. He's not in the room with us. He's over in the German restream listening to the commentary over there, but he is doing the tracking for us over there today.
And as always, please be sure to give Bonta and thalane follows on Twitch for the for all the entertainment that we are going to be getting over the weekend. Races 1 and 2 will be today. This is race 1. Race 2 will follow shortly after. Races 3 and 4 will be tomorrow, 4 if necessary. And if we need game 5, it will be Sunday.
And the times are the same for all the races as well. 4 and 6, 4 and 6, and then on Sunday it will be at 4 o'clock. So same time every day.
So thalane is dropping into Cold Stare for crystal number 6.
I don't know if we saw the Bombos tablet yet, but we just found out it's a piece of heart from Bonta.
Yeah, I don't think thalane ever checked it. Because pretty much thalane got the hook shot doing the Smith chain at South Grove, and then after turning in the lunchbox, went right up to Death Mountain, I think.
So as you mentioned, thalane has done 6 crystals now. It just has to make his way over to Swamp Palace and go mode that thing. Bonta is finally getting to Catfish, I think. He's going to do Pyramid Check first. He can't do the Big Bomb yet because he doesn't have Desert Palace, so that's his last crystal. Big Bomb's not in play. He's just going to see what's on the Pyramid Ledge, and he's going to head up to Catfish, and he's going to be slightly behind the lane. By my math right now, he's going to be about a minute or 2 behind the lane by the time he gets to Gan's Tower. So this is still a race, ladies and gentlemen. And I didn't see what it was before, but it's a red boomerang, it looks like, at the Pyramid Ledge today. Not going to dignify that with a visit. Oh, no, he's not. He's mirroring. Oh, no.
He never did Front of Escape.
Oh, no. Let's hope he mirrors back and uses that portal, because that's where he needs to be. But that's going to cost him easily a couple minutes right there.
So just a go mode of Swamp, and that will be crystal number 7 for thalane.
It's safe to say at this point that thalane did just take a significant lead as Bonta went into the front of escape. So this is now a significant lead for thalane. But we'll see what happens. Anything can happen in Ganon's Tower, or even on the Ganon fight itself, and this could still be close depending what happens.
Yeah, to chat's point, I don't blame Bonta for what he's doing, because
I agree.
At this point you're looking for one item, and you left the front of escape open, and you're over here checking Pyramid Ledge. You might as well mirror through, check front of escape, and then go back to Catfish, because otherwise it's all in how you route it. So I don't blame Bonta. It just, unfortunately, this time around, that's not how it plays out.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for Bonta that the boots are up where they are, because he's been checking everywhere except that location. Now, this could still come down to a left side, right side gamble as well. I don't know if the lane does full right in Ganon's Tower or not. I think when I saw the lane on the final race of the German tournament, I think what happened there, I think he did the first two and then went full left. So if he does the same thing here and Bonta does a full right, that could change the race as well, because Bonta would find the big key a lot faster if it's on the right side. So it could come down to something like that, and we'll just have to wait and see.
He did check back of escape, so it just mirrors out from here.
Yep, he mirrored. He's going to use the portal and most likely head straight for Catfish. Yeah, the fact he's going to bonk. But the fact that he's using the portal there suggests he's going to go straight to the Catfish area, and there's nothing else. There's no reason you would use the portal here otherwise if you weren't going back there.
But won't really matter at this point. Well, it can still matter, but either way, one silver arrow to the head of Argus gets a big 20, and that will be crystal number 7. So, as you all know at this point, there are 22 locations where that Ganon's Tower big key can be. In the basement of Ganon's Tower, if you want to play in our guessing game, you need to guess a number between 1 or 22. Don't know if we have the bot for this on a non-tournament race, but yep, we got it, so we are going to use it. So get your guess in, and you need to subscribe to one of our 6 speed gaming channels or donate 250 bits in order to get on the leaderboard. So Cyclone, what's your guess?
Well, I already put it in chat because I always make the same guess because, well, it's always 11 because, well, always. And meanwhile, before I ask your guess, at 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 5 seconds, Bonta is in go mode and delivers a bomb into the Catfish's den after finally getting his go mode item. And what would your guess be, by the way, while we're on the subject, Jax?
Today I'm going to say Bob's Chest 18.
Bob's Chest 18. You're going with the full right.
Folklorico Bear just gave us a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. And get your guess in before we close the game.
You can still get in guesses until thalane goes into the front door of Ganon's Tower. At that point, guesses will be closed.
Yep, I always try to time it for when I think you guys on the Twitch side see it. So I'm going to stop at about 10 seconds after we see him enter. And that should be enough time for that. So if you're hearing this now, you only have a few seconds left to enter. And then we're going to be closing the game. Now, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel as well, or if you're otherwise watching the video after the fact, you can always play this game with us by coming down to the live channel and watching live races with us, either in this or any other event. Of course, if you're watching on the VOD, you can also just play with yourself and see if you're right as well.
Fun for all around.
Yep.
Anyway, guesses are closed. Number 1, Ice Rod. Number 2, shovel.
Well, let's check those now.
There's our unique items. Number 3, small key.
And we will take that small key because we don't have any yet. And they couldn't do a full right either because they didn't have any key on the right side, so they had to come left. That pretty much rules your Bob's Chest being 18 out of the play at this point.
True. Alright. Bonta is into Lammo. 4, small key. 5, big 26. Another small key. 7. And the 3rd small key. Alright, Bonta has crystal number 7. Michael K cheered 150 bits for thalane. Also given that with a hashtag charity for the direct relief Twitch drive going on.
Bonta quickly takes care of Desert Palace. He's off to Ganon's Tower himself. Going to be at least a couple minutes behind here. I want to say about 3 minutes behind at this point, estimated. That's basically a lost Ganon fight. So this can still be either runner's race.
All right, Fire Snake Room number 9. Sticks. Michael K correcting me that he's only cheering for Germany. Cheer for who you want. Number 10, 10 arrows. 11, mushroom. 12, big 20. Bombs 13. Remember when we got a hint saying the unique item was in Ganon's Tower? We found 3.
That's usually how it works.
All right, Bob's Chest 14. Missed with the powder. There it is.
So you were right that it was Bob's Chest, but you were wrong with it being 18. But we will give the win today to number 14. So if you guess number 14, you will win a fabulous prize, which I will detail in just a moment. So that was a Lumber Flama who wins today. That fabulous prize is simply a spot on our leaderboard. Congratulations. You guessed number 13. No one guessed 14, who is a sub or supporter. You get the win.
I will say that was Lumber Llama.
I'm saying that wrong. I apologize. I thought that was an F in there. Okay, Lumber Llama. That is right.
And seeing a Bodash. The very rarely seen Bodash on Thalane's side.
I just noticed in the chat as well, it looks like we have 3 winners on the leaderboard. I think all 3 channels ran the guessing game for today.
Either way, 128.45. Thalane is in the Gauntlet.
Yep.
Calculus to give us a 25-bit donation for the Direct Relief charity drive. So Thalane does have a lead, but this can still come down to execution, as you said. A fall to Trollorm, too many hugs from Ganon. This race is not necessarily over.
So the lane going through the satisfying room of use a block to kill 3 Wizrobes while you kill the 4th one manually. Insta kill all 4. Beautiful. Every time you see it. And the lane, for those who may not be familiar with the strategy here, it's quicker to fall in the pit and just warp back to the start of the room than it is to try to work your way around and have less time to go through the doors. So the runners are taking advantage of the opportunity to save time by just falling in the pit and warping back.
And as you also saw, there is a glitch where if you go up the door, right as you go up the ladder, as the door is closing, it despawns all the enemies, and you have to go out and restart the whole gauntlet. Because not even Aga 2 is there.
Yeah, neither is Moldorm 2, which if you were to hover across and do that trick, then you, as you mentioned, Aga 2 would be missing as well.
Thalane makes a Trolldorm kill easily, gets across, and is making his way up to the Geometry Wars. Gets a double there to start. Nice double there, avoiding the blue ball as well. Alright, 1 there, so just 1 more to go. Not a friendly setup, but Thalane still gets it done.
Yep. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Big Pig. And the bird's only appearance in the Dark World. Bonta picking up a fairy on his way to Landmo 2. Misses the first 2 opportunities to take out the snake, but gets the 3rd one and gets the other 2 on the 2nd try. Unfortunately, go ahead.
Sorry, from here, this is the easiest Ganon fight there is. You got Butter Sword, 6 slashes get you into phase 1 and phase 2, and I'm still talking, and Thalane's already going to be into phase 3 once these bats get out of the way. Alright, did we find the arrows in Desert Palace? Yep, here's one in your face. I don't know if that, with it going dark, if that second one counted. But it doesn't matter, because there's a triple, and that will do it. Just has to walk through the door, and Thalane finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 3 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat, and Germany takes race 1.
With a lot of meowing from the Triforce. So Bonta is going to be finishing his run. We're just trying to get the 2nd race set up right now in the back end because they are again on a 15-minute delay. So the lane has been finished for about 15 minutes now in real time. Bonta most likely is finished at this point as well. We will wait to confirm that until we actually see him finish. As he just falls to Moldorm 2 again. I think he fell twice there, didn't he?
I think so. Bonta's going to try to hover now, and I think that's what he's just trying to do, is he's trying to hover at this point. Yeah, we're not going to have Bonta and Thalane in for an interview because they're both going to be setting up for the second race, but from but we will see if they are chatting in the SRL, so we can look into that once Bonta decides to either kill Children 2 or just keep his hover practice going.
We'll see what he decides to do in a moment.
Bonta's still trying to hover. He's getting there. Oh, so close.
I will hover, I say.
There we go. Finally got it. Nicely done, Bonta.
Can't blame him wanting to show off the swag strats a little bit. He already knew he had lost this race because he can see that his opponent was done in the chat in the SRL channel, so he wanted to make sure he gave you a bit of a show here as well today, it looks like.
I think that was a triple. So that's 4.
If that was a triple, that would be 4, yes.
And that's 5, and so we'll know here at this one. Yep, that was a triple, and Aga's down for Bonta.
Yeah, that was a nice triple. So it's time once again for the Big Pig.
I feel like we've done this before.
Yeah, me too. I believe in deja vu, do you?
Yeah.
I believe in deja vu, do you?
I mean, it's not like we've been watching this same game constantly for the past few years, and over again we fall into this whole have to talk to this pig before we start whacking on him with a sword and some silver arrows.
He does wield an impressive trident, though, I will say that. So while we wait for this race to for Bonta to finish up here, I want to note that when Bonta does finish, we will be giving a little bit of a wrap here, and then Unknown Availability will be joining me for the. I'll say that again. Unknown Availability will be joining me for the second race in this best of 5 matchup. We're only doing races 1 and 2 today, but again, stay tuned Saturday for race 3, and if needed 4, and if needed Sunday 4 o'clock Eastern time, we will have game 5 in this set. So everyone get your GGs in chat for Bonta. Bonta at this point has finished. And Bonta has, I'm just trying to find it in the chat because we had a lot of chat around it.
I already have it. He has an official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 14 seconds. GGs to Bonta.
And I just got that myself. Yep. So get your GGs in chat for Bonta. And the next race, we are still waiting to get underway a little bit here. So we are still waiting for the next one to start. It will be at least another 15 minutes until we get to that point because of the delay. So this gives you an opportunity, everyone, to grab some popcorn, grab some snacks, grab a nice cold glass of water to stay hydrated because you know the bot will tell you otherwise that you need to do that. And settle in for another great race coming up here.
Yep.
What were your... Go ahead.
Well, while we're waiting, I did want to also say we are going to bring in Unknown Availability, who is going to be with you for Cyclone for race number 2. So I'll give the first question to Unknown. What were your thoughts on that race?
I mean, that came down to Catfish. That came down to Catfish having the boots. Early Catfish gave it to thalane. That's really what everything was. So.
Yeah, from reading in the SRL chat, Bonta was basically saying that he was planning to go to Pyramid and Catfish. It just that he just kept getting progression leading him to the Crystal Dungeons, which kept putting the boots back further and further for him.
Yeah, they both have similar play styles, and with the routings that thalane took over Bonta, it just happened to send them on the safer play of going to Catfish when they did. So Bonta went more in the dungeon route where thalane went overworld, and overworld just paid off to allow for more dungeons. So yeah, it was Rando being Rando.
Which is honestly why we do a best of 5, because things like that in these type of seeds are just going to happen.
Oh yeah, I most of us who are commentary run this game as well, and I don't think there is. I think all of us are like, yeah, we're familiar. It's like that's happened plenty of times.
You're about to say, Cyclone?
I was just going to say, I agree. It completely came down to Catfish for that race. And if for a while, Bonta had quite a lead in that run, it was just not getting up to Catfish. And that's what cost him the race. Just took all that time checking all those other locations, never checked Catfish. And that's just how Randomizer is sometimes. As you guys were just saying, that's exactly what happens. And sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't.
And go ahead, Jax.
No, sorry. I mean, part of that also was with the fact of how much, how many items we got early, that the race was very open in terms of the fact that there was a bunch of places you can go, and you were never really cornered into like a forced linear path. So, sometimes that's just how it just works out.
Yeah, and a lot of times as well, with Randomizer, there's hardly ever a clear-cut right choice without knowing what item is where. So being commentary and being viewers, it's easy to be like, well, you just went to the wrong place. But in the moment when you're running this game, the right choice very well could have just as easily been everything Bonta did. Bonta could have had the boots for a long time because they had pretty different routes. They hit a lot of the same areas just at different times. Thalane ended up going through Lost Woods, I believe, before Bonta did. I don't remember who did what because that was almost 2 hours ago. So, but one person went the other direction, and the other person ended up going back that same way. But we saw Thalane did the escape way earlier than Bonta because Thalane got the hammer first. So Thalane went and did Uncle after Bonta, allowing him to be able to do escape right then and there early. So Bonta didn't really know what was in escape, and it could just have easily been that was where the boots were as well, and that could have just had Thalane running around way faster. So with that
Yeah, and I think the fact that the hook shot was in a place right along that path, like there's a lot of items you can check in that chain. It did take a while for that to be picked up by the lane, but once he was on that path, he basically has his own routing way of doing things to get down to a certain area in a certain fashion. He followed his path, and he got to it eventually. It was a case where he was going to pick it up eventually. That's kind of hard to miss it. There's a plethora of items along that path. The catfish is just a much more out of the way location, and the fact it just worked out in that sense that he got that early catfish check-in when it was convenient. He was already in the area. He had the hammer. Why not get out of the way? And it worked out for him. So,
let's face it too. Catfish there's really nothing other than maybe routing in Zora with the mirror with it, because they had an early mirror. Routing in Zora is like the most convenient routing for catfish, but other than that, that's just out of the way. Even routing it with Pyramid, it's still out of the way. There's nothing really over there in the dark world with it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for anyone that may be new to the Zelda Randomizer, that's why a lot of times we'll emphasize either going to crystal dungeons, because when your goal is to defeat Ganon, you need to go to the crystal dungeons, or why we'll also say, like, well, Death Mountain, there's 10 potential items up there. You're playing your chances to try to see what you're playing your chances at getting some sort of progression. And with catfish kind of being orphaned out of the way, and it's mostly a low percentage play.
It really is. And a lot of people will it's almost the same thing as an early Agina's play. There's a lot of people who will check Agina's just after doing the dam, and then save and quit back to Link's house, and then come back down and do Mini Moldorm and things like that. That's a play that I like to do personally. But it's one of those things where Agina is just, it's kind of out of the way in the early game until you have Flute or a reason to go over to Desert. It's out of the way. It's one of those spots that just literally has nothing else near it other than if you have something specifically to be over there. So, same thing with Ice Rod Cave. As a matter of fact, Ice Rod Cave is another perfect example of that.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap this one here, because we are going to be going into an episode change for the second race here. So I want to wrap up before we get to that change. Our tracker is doing that over on the German side. So I want to thank you, Jex Referee, for joining me for this first race today. Unavailability and I will be staying with you, everyone, to commentate the second race for you after this little break here. I can tell you the second race did start about 6 minutes ago live. It will catch up with us in about 9 minutes. So again, take a moment, get some stuff and snacks, drinks, and I'm going to probably take a quick 5-minute break myself, and we're going to be right back with you to start this second race. So Jex Referee, thanks again for joining me. Everyone stay tuned for race number 2. Go ahead.
Sorry about that, Cyclone. No, I was just going to say it certainly was a pleasure commentating with you. It was a blast again. Please be sure to give Bonta and thalane follows on Twitch. Unfortunately for me, that's going to do it pretty much for the next week, because I'm going to be on holiday vacation from here. So Cyclone and Unknown Availability will get you the rest of the way. I'm Jex Referee. I'll see you all next mission. And next year, maybe.
And we'll be right back with Star Race number 2. Stay tuned. And thank you again for joining us for the Link to the Past Randomizer, French versus German, Battle of the Champions here. I am Cyclone, being joined now by Unknown Availability for the second race. How are you doing again today, Unknown Availability?
I am doing fantastic. Looking to see if Thalane's going to take it 2-0 right now, even though it's going to be a best of 5. Is he going to put himself, really in the driver's seat to win?
Yeah.
I'm going to be interested to see, because if I'm not mistaken, when I was reading earlier, Bonta does know how to hover. We were just seeing that on the previews right here. Does Thalane know how to hover?
And that's going to be a good question. I don't remember if Thalane is hovering or not. But depending on whether they find that hook shot, that could be something that Bonta uses to his advantage later on.
Mm-hmm. We have seen quite a few matches with some of the more famous runners that hovering has been the decider, because that hook shot's been somewhere just off in a pendant dungeon somewhere, and pendant mire or vanilla pendant swamp or something to that effect, and just, well, you gotta go find it, and a hover can save the day. So I'll be interested to see that. Now, I'd also like to see, I'm gonna pick sides here. Forgive me. I know I'm supposed to be in the middle, but I would like Bonta to win, because I love 1-1. I want to see it. I want to see it go down to the wire. Everybody wants a game 5. Who doesn't want a game 5? If you're watching the World Series, if you're watching baseball, you want a game 5. You want a game 7 of the basketball championships. You want all the games you can.
Yeah. I want to see it go down to 1-1 just so we can say for sure, catch 2 games tomorrow. I want to be able to say that just for that reason. So, and Bonta had such a hard time with that location last game, going for the boots. I want to see him bring it back and have a better run this time. Probably will feel a lot better after the second run, knowing that he had a better run the second go and got a win out of it. He really did play that first seed very well, made the very early Turtle Rock play, really deserved the win. Just that bad location for the boots just got to him. Very unfortunate for him. So we are about to get started here. The 15-minute delay is about to catch up with us, so we should be seeing the start very shortly. What do you want the tough item to be to find this time?
I can tell you what I don't want it to be. I don't want Ice Rod. I hate Ice Rod hunts. They are so overplayed. Please, just no. I would honestly, maybe not a late item find, but I kind of want to see this go swordless for a while. That would be really fun to see a lot of swordless strats in a normal open mode game, because sometimes if you're expecting a sword and you have to pull out hammer strats for blind and things like that, even the better players are like, oh wait, okay,